Hello, folks, and welcome to game number 1 of the Mythic Season's day. Oh, God, I've forgotten how many days we're into this already. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, Shargan, and I've got Raptor joining me on the caster desk. Jeez Louise.
Hello. And it is day 11, by the way.
Day 11. Wow. Almost 2 weeks in. Kind of crazy.
It is. It really is. And, speaking of crazy, these teams that we have playing right now, this is a crazy matchup. This is the top two of our top teams in the league right now. SLR, they've been pretty consistent throughout the season. YOLO got off to a kind of a rough start, but has managed to pick it up after a couple roster changes so far. And I'm very excited to see them play. I finally get to see Street Smurf take on Fang over Fang.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting to see them going off. Though they are not going against each other in the same lane, so it's not going to be like a direct head-to-head. It is going to be really nice seeing these two veterans going at it. We do see, once again, the Bard has been banned almost immediately for iThrowMeeps, who was CEO of Bard, I believe, at the beginning of the season. I am very frustrated that we don't get to see him on Bard more often. Like, I just want to see iThrowMeeps on Bard.
Yeah, but then no one else wants to lose to it, so they gotta leave it down.
Yep, they gotta take it down. I mean, that is the problem of being a one-trick, is you don't get to play your one-trick in a competitive setting because nobody wants to let you have it easy. We do have some very powerful junglers and mid laners being taken away. Like, lots of respect on the side of SLR. They're taking away that Silas and the Vi, just making sure that Bloon21 and Street Smurf don't have hard engages immediately available to them with those champs. But then we're also seeing that the Swain and the Hecarim getting taken away from Fang and from Meeps as well. Wayne has honestly been in a very good spot this season.
Yeah, Swain's been pretty good since his mid-scope rework. I think he's actually proven to be a very effective drain tank, even more so than previously. But focusing more on what is coming, we've got a Seraphine, we've got a Misfortune, and I wouldn't be surprised if they follow that Misfortune up with a Leona.
Yep, scaling Copium. They like their hard engages, like their hard lockdown. Leona would be a great choice going into this game. The Seraphine is going to provide a lot of disengage, though she could be going mid lane as more of a supportive mid laner, or we'll see it going into the bot lane for, as a normal support. It's a really good flex pick to just kind of pick on the first choice. And then we have that Azir for Street Smurf. Already we know Street Smurf's got the mechanics, so it's going to be a really dangerous game if they let that Azir scale into the late game for SLR.
Yeah, that could be pretty dangerous, especially running an Ashe there. Now you're not really a late game hyper carry. That when you think of one, you think of something more like a Tristana, Kog'Maw, maybe even Caitlyn, Vayne. I actually think more of as a supportive role one. And, pairing that with Seraphine, it makes me think SLR is focusing more on the top side of their map this game in the mid lane to be their main carries. And, the Volibear just kind of adds to that idea, like this beefy frontliner, which I've heard Fang complain several times about how many more times must he play this champion?
I mean, that's one of the difficulties with Volibear is it gets so strong and so tanky, provides so much utility for the team that it's kind of like you gotta have it. But unfortunately, it's not the most interactive in terms of gameplay. And it's kind of like, you're just kind of running, hitting somebody, maybe drop some lightning on their heads, and then jump on them and become a big, massive bear. Great engage tools, though, with the Asher on the Volibear Ultimate. And then we have the Lilia getting picked up. So I like the amount of AP damage on the side of Scaling Copium. It's a very bursty team. They're kind of going for that more hard engage, hard magic damage sort of a situation, while SLR just kind of wants to slowly roll you over.
Yeah, SLR is looking right now for like picks to set up a fight. They're looking to find something with the Seraphine ult or the Ashe ult, that Ashe arrow, just finding something. So I'm guessing they're going to run something burstier to kind of follow up on those engages. So I would be surprised to see an assassin. Akali isn't banned yet, so that could be something that comes up in this game. Maybe something like in the top lane, Darius or Urgot, something that just has more damage. Maybe they want to actually make this a team fight one, just use the Ashe and the Seraphine as like kiting potential for their carries. So
I honestly would like to see a Darius for SLR.
That would be pretty sad. There's Leona.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. There's that Leona. Didn't follow up with it right away. They left it open for a little while. They weren't sure, but it's the Leona Misfortune bot lane. Very powerful bot lane. Once you get that lockdown, you get some nice double taps. You can make a raid on their heads. There's a lot that you can do overall. And again, it's going to be kind of, we see with that Malphite taken away and the Karma, we got a Zilean pickup coming out from SLR. That's a bit of an interesting choice, I think. I like it in terms of its synergy with the rest of the team. I don't like it because it's Zilean, because I hate Zilean. Zilean can just burn. I hate that champion so much.
Zilean is the most broken champion in League of Legends.
Yeah, it's you got the built-in GA and the ultimate. You got the speedy boost. You've got the early edition of Nyla and her passive with the shared XP, and then we have a Bel'Veth. Oh, that is interesting. So we've got a Bel'Veth coming out from SLR. So we're not going to be seeing Fang most likely on the Volibear. That's going to be Volibear in the top lane.
Okay, so this is exciting for me. I like Bel'Veth a lot, and I've seen her being played at Worlds, and that's made me very excited. I'm excited to see her starting to come into FOF too. She is a great, and this makes the comp make a lot more sense. This is a comp built around this Bel'Veth. You are trying to set up plays for the Bel'Veth, let her get in, let her assassin, like just try to rip through a target so then she can just start ulting and just reset after reset after reset. And you've got the Zilean to help speed her up. You've got the ult to make sure she can get in and get out. Very good. I like this. I like it a lot. I like to see, put Fang on a carry as opposed to putting him back on Volibear or Trundle duty. Yep. But there is a Kayle on the other side, and Scaling Copium living up to their name with that could be a really big deal, especially if this game goes late and they start getting to 40 minutes in, 5 or 6 items. It could be pretty dangerous. So the onus this game is on SLR to get Fang the lead. They need to get him that stacks on that Bel'Veth. Like Bel'Veth needs stacks to be really an effective champion. And once those are up, like if she's got like 4 or 5 stacks on her, becomes just an absolute, maybe closer to 10, like 10 stacks. Yeah. Becomes kind of an absolute nightmare of a champion to deal with, especially in 1v1s. Like you can't really out DPS Bel'Veth once she builds Bork. And Llama finds a root.
Gets a nice root off right there, getting a nice bit of chunk of damage. Warplaque brought relatively low. We're not going to be seeing First Blood right here, but that is going to be Warplaque in a bit of a dangerous situation going in with such low health early on. One of the things I wanted to bring up following up on this Bel'Veth situation, the thing that makes it so frustrating to play the champion in solo queue is you don't usually have the team coordination to make sure you secure those early Rift Heralds, which are just so broken if Bel'Veth can pick them up early.
Yeah, the Void Salmon are pretty powerful. Getting those heralds, getting the Baron later on, those will be a lot of how they deal with this. I would expect, a lot of pressure, especially on the top side from this team, especially early on. Kayle is very, very weak early on in the game until, she hits level 6 and can actually, or 5. I forgot if they changed that or not when she gets that upgrade, but waiting for her to become an actual champion. So I would expect to see a lot of pressure around that, especially with the focus around the Rift Heralds. And I want to bring up that we thought this was Seraphine bot, Zilean mid. It is Seraphine mid. So that's another thing I want to talk about. Seraphine is a very strong scaling champion right now.
Oh, I honestly, I knew it was going to be Zilean support just because of how frustrating that is into a Leona. Like, for a Leona player, when you see that Zilean, you are just, no. Just all of the no. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why do you not want me to play this game? So I knew that was going to happen right away. But yeah, that Seraphine's going to scale very strongly into the late game, and the poke early on really useful against the Azir.
Yeah, and she's also got that massive shield. The ultimate is it's just a significantly better Sona ultimate. Let's be real here. It does the same thing, but with a much longer range.
Work. That is what Seraphine. I have harped on this. I have played Seraphine a couple of times, and it's disgusting every time because I'm just like, why? Why did you do my Sona dirty this way?
Well, it's just a Sona that's intuitive. Instead of random auras, you get actual things that are noticeably impactful. But yeah, that remains to be seen if she can make that impact. If Llama can bring about a good impact with this. And also, if Anti can kind of hold out and not feed Smoke Swag, he's going in on him, though.
He's going in, but you see right there, that's one of the things about Volibear is, like, you are able to do some early dives. You've got a lot more damage than people kind of expect. Taking a little bit too much. Fang over Fang just hanging off, just off to the side. Wasn't quite able to get to the lane in time to avoid getting caught in the turret. We can see right now, Smoke Swag is like, I want to retreat under turret, but I can't because we've got Fang over there just sitting in the lane waiting for me, and First Blood going over to Anti.
Yeah, and Aegis just barely missing that hook would have probably landed on Lure, probably been a good engage with Balloon there. Honestly, that whole series of events top was kind of odd. Like, the Kale just very passively hitting at the Volibear and then just gets kind of baited forward. It was kind of strange. It was like just like watching first, it's like someone stumbling into First Blood. It was just very slow and casual, but it is picked up. They aren't able to give the stack. Actually, I don't know. Did the Belveth get the stack? If we can bring that up on the Belveth.
I'm not positive on that one.
Yeah, we'd have to actually look at our champion little stub out thing
to see the stacks and whatnot. But it's perfectly fine. I do want to say that I've seen Frozen Aegis miss, I think, 3 Zenith Blades so far. All of them just a little too short. I'm keeping count on those.
Just getting used to his aim, He's not used to the skin.
As a not so casual Leona enjoyer, it's very, very frustrating. It's like, I understand the pain. I get it. It's a zillion. I totally understand. Anti now trying to go in on a Smoke Spike, unfortunately does not respect the damage that's coming from those minions.
Yeah, kind of took that a little bit too aggressively and kind of running the wrong direction, running back into the bush. I don't think there was really much chance for him to get out of there, but now Smoke Swag, getting that kill could be pretty big. Aegis is in mid. It could be looking for an opportunity here. SLR.
Definitely looking for the. We got the Zenith Blade coming in, but unfortunately, we have Pure Llama ready and waiting. Does drop the Q, getting a lot of damage. Got a nice root down. Got Belveth jumping in as well, trying to get on Frozen Aegis. Flashes are thrown. Ultimate from Pure Llama does not manage to find his target. Fang is going to get brought solo, taken down by the Azir. The Sand Soldier's doing all the work, executing the Void Monster, getting revenge, and that is going to be a great fight for that does not go in SLR's favor.
Yeah, Street Smurf, manages to get out of there. Aegis gets out of there, and Fang goes too deep. They were not expecting Balloon to rotate down so quickly. It works out just so well for them there. This is what you kind of want to do. You want to be able to suppress. Oh, actually, hang on a moment. We got this thing going on top side.
We got more fighting going on here at the top line. Anti getting brought very low, and unfortunately for Smokesbag, he's not able to take him down just quick enough. Anti picks up level 6, does manage to drop the Volibear ultimate, is doing so damage, and manages to pull the double kill out at the last second.
He's going full bear, boys. Anti just ripping up Smoke Swag and Balloon in a 2v1. He had no business winning. And now Aegis on the meat.
He's just dodging right below that Zenith Blade. Very well played. Luru.
Yeah, Aegis struggling to hit these Zenith Blades. As someone who's played a lot of Leona, I think, it's probably just nerves and getting used to the timing, but definitely going to have to work on improving that if he wants to blow it. Ooh, okay, I've done this trick before. I like this trick. Oh, he stepped out too soon. So this is something I started doing recently a lot more with my set support, is hide in the bush and then just hex flash into the next bush. And they don't see it. They don't see the hex flash when you're in the bush. So they'll just walk forward and then you just pull them in. But it just giving a little too much space, a little bit too much safety there. And Gold basically even. Oh.
Smart play by Aegis. Almost accidentally went the wrong direction into the Zillion.
Yeah. Llama, though, he's doing pretty good in this matchup with Tristan. I know they look dead even, but he is putting a lot of pressure on it. And I think that's going to be really important. You know, you want to keep this Azir in the lane. You want to force Bloon to spend more time here. So you can't go around ganking top or bottom, though I guess top doesn't really matter when your Volibear just does what it just did.
Yeah, no, so the thing is, Anti is in a very good spot right now. With those 3 kills, they're able to just do very, very well in this top lane. They've already got the Bomby Cinder, you've got the Dark Seal with a couple of stacks, you've got the Mana Crystal, so you're basically just sitting quite pretty. Unfortunately, though, Smokeswag has become a champion and has hit level 7, and so they're actually able to do some auto ranged attacks, doing a lot of damage and able to just chunk Anti down. We do see that they were trying to pressure towards Dragon, but couldn't get priority, so that's going to be an easy pickup for Fang over Fang on this Mountain Drake. Nice Crystal Arrow onto Warplaque. Flash is going to get popped, and they've got the Zenith Blade, the nice lockdown, but the cleanse means that Luru is able to get onto Warplaque. The Zillion ultimate manages to keep them alive. Luru now is going to continue this fight, going onto Frozen Aegis, and that is unfortunately going to be another kill. Fang over Fang taking them down. The Leona has fallen, and the lights start to dim.
Yeah, good play there from Luru and Meeps. Using the arrow to buy space and then flash cleansing, knowing you're about to get locked down, knowing the Misfortune ult is coming, and just immediately ripping into a Morplaque, just not being able to get off that in time. And they come in, it looks like, it looked like Bloon had it, but Meeps with the ult. So well timed from all those summoners, all those ultimates, so well timed by this SLR bot lane.
Oh man, you hate to be Anti in this situation because unfortunately for him, Volibear is still vulnerable under their own tower, and it was clear Smokeswag was looking for a dive and could theoretically do it having their ultimate up. So that would have been that could have been really, really bad.
Yeah, I thought last one was going to be bad, so I'm impressed he got out of that. Aegis is here, so is Bloon. I think they're looking to make a big push here.
Yeah, Bloon might be looking to come top lane here in just a moment. This is the thing. So now that Rift Herald is up, they know Bel'Veth wants it. They know that this is the next objective, and it is so much more important than the dragon that they have to take it quickly. Fang over Fang coming up here to this top lane does not realize they're about to walk into Aegis. Very luckily has a ward ready to drop, though.
And Street Smurfs rotating up to Llama coming as well. The Zillion too. Everyone's just up here but the 80 carries. But that's actually in the detriment of the side of YOLO because it's an Ashe. She's can just lob that arrow across the map and still have some impact in this fight. So YOLO backs off. Okay. They don't want to take a 4 1/4 versus 4 fight.
I'm not sure I like the fact that they're just leaving this Rift Herald up and not forcing a fight.
I would agree. I think forcing it would be good. I think they could dodge the Ashe arrow. I see why though. You don't like 35-2. I don't think they realize that they're only down less than 1,000 gold. And they don't want to snowballs. They want to play safe and careful, but you know that is giving up the Herald, and now Aegis.
Exactly, giving up the Herald to a Bel'Veth, and now we've got Aegis jumping on the back of the. Oh, the ultimate gets canceled, and unfortunately Warplaque has no mana, so they're not able to continue this follow-up. Luru has actually trying to get some engagement, not able to do it. The Solar Flare gets dropped, but it's gonna go wide. Neither of them are caught in the slow, and with 4 members of YOLO down here in the bot lane, that is an easy pickup on the Rift Herald. This is gonna be a huge push in the top lane.
Yeah, they're running straight top with that. Warplaque just clicks too soon after the ult and cancels it. Could have gotten a good hit there. Now the dive in from Aegis onto Meeps.
Yep, nice engage right there. Frozen Aegis trying to get onto Lure, get the stun off, does manage to with the flash. Unfortunately, Warplaque is brought so low, and the Zillion ultimate keeps them alive. That means that when Ashe comes right back up, that's just going to be a double kill in their pocket. They're just shredding through these health bars. Look at those arrows doing their jobs. There is nothing that this bot lane can do, and that is going to be a massive push in the bot, while top lane is just going to crumble.
Yeah, just from draft to now. Oh, hang on.
Oh, goodness gracious me. This is not where you want to be. As you see Smokeswag, he's getting taken down, and he just gets tagged and is immediately deleted. Oh, but the Azir is here to try and finish things off. Look at that, going in. Bloon actually able to stay alive, and then we get the shutdown. both of those laners for SLR are taken out of the equation, and they almost managed to get 2 towers out of that push.
Yeah, YOLO finally manages to stem the bleeding just a little bit. They get the 2 kills, but they lose 2 bottom. They lose the turret top. They almost lose the second turret. And before finally managing to put down Fang and Anti. I actually think Fang should have just accepted he was going to die and just tried to take the void coral. Should have just gone for that. Just, get the stacks. Doesn't matter if you die at that point. You still got the free stats, but just leaves it. That's just a personal nitpick of mine. But overall, like, this is just becoming a very dominant game from the side of SLR. They're just playing the macro so well from draft to now. Like, it just feels like YOLO doesn't know how to handle this composition and how to deal with, all these struggles they're having, how to deal with an Ashe and a Zilean. They just let Zilean get away with all these free ultimates, just walking up. And it's starting, the lead is starting to grow. It's getting almost 5,000 gold at 13.5 minutes. YOLO's got to stem the lead, or they've got to start going for these objectives. And I think starting with this Infernal Dragon could be pretty beneficial for them.
It's going to be very beneficial. Unfortunately, they're going to be caught out and they're going to be seen. Luckily for them, the positioning of SLR is not able to contest. So that's to their advantage.
Yeah, pretty good advantage on their part. Like, it's really nice that they they're starting to grab something there. Ooh, Warplaque with the ultimate though.
Plaque dropping an ultimate purely in a very bad way. Unfortunately, they're going to go golden, but there is not a lot they can do as the final auto attack from Luru is going to finish them off. Meeps now chasing along with Luru. Luru almost able to escape this overthrow, not quite able to, but there's the Zenith Blade, and the last second Zilean ultimate does manage to keep them alive for just a couple more seconds, but unfortunately it's not going to matter as the flash gets burned and they get brought under tower. The Teemo off face, and you can clearly see that Luru is not expecting that much damage that quickly.
Yeah, the good rotation down from Street Smurf and Aegis, managing to at least make up for Warplaque's death. Unfortunately, Warplaque did flash at the start of that fight. I mean, like right before he died, and very unnecessarily. It was kind of like a given he was going to die there. But Luru wasted his too, trying to escape. So like it comes out even, and they do get the turret off it. So a little bit more gold back for the side of YOLO. But the top turret in that time went down as well. And now they're on the inhibitor turret for Anti.
Yep, they're on the inhibitor turret for that top lane. Like I said, the thing about these Bel'Veth pushes is they're so strong. They do such a good job of just shoving these lanes in as hard as possible, and they are really, really devastating overall because you're just not expecting to lose so much ground so early in these games.
Yeah, they're making it back up, but it's gonna be a pretty rough uphill battle. While the Lilia and the Azir have done well, Kayle has had a pretty rough go of it in lane against Blaze It Bear, as I'm gonna call Anti now, just based on that scoreline, is Blaze It Bear. And bot lane has just been getting rolled by this Ashe Zilean combo. We were saying Ashe isn't really a carry, but when you're 3-1-2. Get pretty carried.
When you have a Zilean to support you, you're going to survive fights you shouldn't. Like, for example, here, Meeps is going to get brought really, really low. We do see that they drop the ultimate on themselves, so that means there's no Zilean ultimate left for this fight. Huge Seraphine ultimate! That was 4 folks right there! That is going to be absolutely disgusting! So many members of YOLO got locked in place, nowhere they could go, as the rest of the damage from SLR just comes in and burns them away. And unfortunately, Smoke Swag is going to be the only one left alive.
We were saying it's a better Sono. Nothing better than that long-range 4-man hit of the Seraphine. Oh, so much damage put out by the side of SLR there in a beautiful fight. Now YOLO did manage to grab Fang over Fang in that, so they managed to stop him from getting the coral stacks, which would have been really good, all 4 of those coral stacks for him. But they just lose so much in the process, and now they're down 6,000 gold. They're down the mid turret. Luru had, I don't know if you saw that, the camera panned over. He was just hitting that turret he tried to fight the turret without minions, but manages to pick it up now that he's got his little army with him. And SLR are really putting their foot to the pedal this game.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Raptor, but I'm looking at the way this is playing out, and unfortunately for YOLO, they have lost a lot of priority around this Rift Herald that's going to be up again here in the next 30 seconds. So even with the power that SLR has. They just have the map control. That means that this next Rift Herald is going to be gross, and so YOLO has got to come over and contest it.
Yeah, they've got to stop letting them have it, but they're still just letting them. They're just letting them have the Herald, not even trying to contest it.
I'm not 100% sure they actually even realize that he's on it. I think that it's one of those situations where they're just kind of like, okay, we don't know where they are right now. Let's just try and find them. And unfortunately, they only discover it after the Rift Herald has been taken. So now that Bel'Veth has evolved and is going to be pushing down this mid lane, it's going to be really, really bad if they aren't careful. Oh, we got a huge Seraphine ultimate. Once again, catching multiple members, passing through the allies. Also extends the range, folks. You can't forget that Anti jumping in onto this tower, catching Leona, picking up the double kill for the Seraphine. And that is going to be, again, absolutely disgusting right there. Anti, though, walking right into the Kayle means that we're going to be seeing a little bit more damage dropped onto that bear. Is able to get away, though. Now we've got the Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. Fang just waiting off to the side. Luckily for YOLO, they're able to kill the Salmon, but they're not able to stop the Rift Herald dive, which is just going to cause so much pain. Street Smurf doing a lot of damage. Oh no, they took down Fang. That means that they no longer have the Salmon to help them out in their later pushes. But they're going to get the second charge onto this Rift Herald. Anti going under the tower once again. Pure Llama going on a killing spree as they pick that up. And then we see Ashe cleaning things up right there, but the fight isn't over yet, folks, as we see a nice stun picking up multiple members of YOLO. Frozen Aegis being brought exceptionally low. Zenith blading in, trying to catch something, and we see that Pure Llama has the Zillion ultimate that is able to survive a full Misfortune ultimate, and that is going to be an ace as we see this game probably being brought to a close before the 20-minute mark.
We did see, oh, they're just going to
They're going to back off. They could finish it. Y'all are just cowards.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart not to take the inhibitor right now. It's early enough in the game. You aren't going to really be able to finish it yet. And opening that up just means that you permanently have a wave push, which means they permanently get to farm it and their man will be able to get gold back. So best just to leave it as it is, force them to have to deal with normal waves and not get quite that XP that they've been and gold they've been hunting for. So smart play actually by SLR. But that fight, we were saying this game, it was going to be about a Bel'Veth carry. But who needs Bel'Veth carry when it turns out that you can indeed make Ashe carry with Gale Force of all things and the Volibear tank? It's absolutely wild and a madhouse in this matchup, and SLR is just going off. Every member on this team is popping off this game except for Fang.
I would honestly say that Fang is doing the job of a Bel'Veth, getting these pushes started and getting the huge shoves activated. So they're doing exactly what they need to do.
That's true.
Aegis, now they're trying to put some priority over by this bear, and they're trying to get something back topside, which is what they really need. Bel'Veth likes the top side of the map. Oh no, Pure Llama caught underneath the tower. We see Leona diving underneath, which is absolutely fine for them. Huge Seraphine ultimate, but the Zillion is here as well, dropping it onto Pure Llama, keeping them alive. They're not able to take this tower, and once again, you are seeing the problem when dealing with a Zillion support is that you have to kill basically every member of the enemy team twice. Oh, it is just so painful. Oh no, Warplague is caught out. Lura's like, you know what, fine, I'm just going to flash Gale Force over this wall to get the kill, finish them off, set up that death timer. And that is going to be another 30 seconds of Misfortune. It's not on the map. Street Smurf is able to finally get away, but Anta's like, nah, get back here. We're not done with this. I want your, come on. And then we have the flash coming out from Street Smurf. Oh man, that hurts to see. And now we're going to see the Baron fall, which means a third Bel'Veth push.
Yeah, and YOLO manages to get the mid-turn and at least get the bounty stacks on the Kayle, so that's at least good, but so much going so wrong there. It was looking so good, 4-man dive on it, but the Bel'Veth and the Zillion managing to save Llama. Llama's ult actually hitting, I think, 2 people in that fight, and then it's just running people down after that. Once you've ripped through the Lilia and you've destroyed the Leona, it's just a rundown of whoever is left. So a good play from SLR. I do want to note, though, Fang keeps like dipping on void stacks on the coral, and I don't know. As someone who likes to play Bel'Veth when I have to jungle, it's very frustrating to see him just keep leaving stacks around. My dude, you would be so much more powerful if you just picked them up.
It's fine. He's got Baron empowered Salmon right now, so he's good. He's ready to keep this going.
Yeah.
So he knows what he needs to be doing, just sitting around these waves, pushing these lanes out. We are seeing doing a much smarter job not engaging on silly fights. That's the thing, Fang, is like once you die, you lose all those stacks.
The Bel'Veth stacks?
Or not the Belvast stacks, the transformation.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was like, that's a new change
Not
to me.
the
They don't lose
stacks, it's
stats.
the trade. I just said the wrong word.
I'm just messing with you. You're good.
I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, okay?
The syllable.
Well,
11,000 gold up now for
Yep.
SLR. I think
Yep.
this game is it's at this point just waiting for them to end it. And it
we
could
could
be
be
on
seeing
that
a
as they just
C9
got-
moment. You never know. We could be seeing a 10k gold throw, but I don't know if that's going to be the case here, as we are going to see a second turret fall. That is going to be a second inhibitor turret gone. First inhibitor is going to fall right here. Anti's going to dive under the Nexus, managing to knock out one of the towers, so they're going to continue this push just a little bit longer. Rotating down to the mid inhibitor means that now they're going to have massive waves pushing in with this huge Baron buff. And you see, another thing about Bel'Veth that just makes it so frustrating to deal with is you think your minion waves keep you safe, but she's like a freaking Yasuo. There we go. Nice ultimate getting dropped. Huge amounts of stun. Unfortunately for them, the one that they put the Zillion ult on was the Bully Bear this time, so he's just going to come right back. But they do manage to burst him down once again. Smoke Swag has become an absolute monster. They are fully stacked at the moment, and so they don't need to be level 16 quite yet, but they'll be exalted here in just another 2 levels, and once that happens, it's going to be very difficult to deal with the Kayle.
Oh, absolutely. Thankfully for SLR, they managed to peel off and get out of there, though they are being hunted down. They have to be careful. They get a little too aggressive trying to dive under the turret and really weren't able to get much. They get War Plaque, gave up a couple kills back, a little bit extra shutdown gold, but still, they've cracked the base. There's 2 inhibitors down. Dragon coming up in about 35 seconds. They're going to probably grab that with ease. SLR is really in a still, despite those deaths, is still in a commanding position in this game, I think. And it's going to take YOLO. YOLO's going to have to dig deep if they want this. And I think a lot of it is going to still be on Smoke Swag. It's going to be on him to hit that level 16 gap, get that Rabadon's coming. I see that coming up next. And just try to tear through this line. Just use your team as meat shields to buy yourself space, because that worked really well in that fight. But I don't know if SLR will let them do it again unless he positions super well.
See, that's the problem, is positioning, I think.
Where's Fang going?
I'm not entirely sure where Fang is going. I think Fang is just doing Fang things. Everybody is question mark pinging him, which is kind of hilarious. He's running to the Nexus. I'm not entirely sure what's happening right here. Okay.
I'm as I'm casting, I can't really give official TOing, but can we get a ruling on that? That seems a little sus.
I think we need a vibe check on Fang.
Yeah,
is he okay?
I need
Are
a
you
sussy
okay,
check.
Fang?
I think he's an imposter. He's playing Bel'Veth. That's already an imposter champion, pretending to be a giant woman, but really is just a manta ray. I'm pretty sure he's an imposter. He's sussy. Clearly, we need to deal with. With that.
That was just all sorts of like, I have no words for that. I want Fang for interview now, no matter what. I gotta know what happened there. Either way,
the Venmo came through. The Venmo came through.
I guess that's it. I'm just gonna say, speechlessness aside here, we've got a huge push here in the mid lane of. Not entirely sure what exactly is going to happen next. We don't have Baron up for another minute, but once that comes up, that's going to be another massive push from SLR. So I expect that they're probably just going to wait it out until then just rush the Baron, burn it down as quickly as possible, try and push this top wave and just take it all completely. YOLO is just hanging on by a thread at this point. They really don't have anything left to defend themselves.
I think Brendan might be allergic to Void Coral. He might have just been avoiding the dragon, so he couldn't even be near the Void Coral. I think he's allergic to it. I don't know if Bel'Veth is the champion of choice for that. Then you're allergic to coral.
I guess. The fact that we're still talking about this and confused is a little frustrating. Either way, we got right here, Ashe in this top lane, pushing this right here. They're going to be pushing this tower. I expect them just to siege it down. There's not a lot. Got a nice crystal arrow going in. Does manage to find Azir. Unfortunately, that's going to be the Seraphine ult not finding a target this time, so there's no extensions. But I don't know what else we're going to be seeing coming out from this game. We're going to be seeing a lot of pressure on this top side, basically owned by SLR. We do see that Kale has now hit level 16, so they are fully exalted at all times. It's a lot of AoE damage that they're going to be able to burst it down. We do have the Farsight trinket dropped on Baron, so they know it's coming. Zillion dropping some orbs on the other side of the wall. Smoke Swag looking for that engage, but unfortunately they overstep themselves. They're going to be brought super low very quickly, and there's no stuns to stop them from getting killed too much. And so unfortunately, that is going to be a complete dismantling of the side of YOLO. There is not a lot they can do as they just get peppered by all this damage, and that is going to be all she wrote, as we're going to see the final push for this.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the game right there. The ace, or no, not ace, sorry, Warplacky is still alive. But 4 people down, just a misfortune left with supers on the Nexus turrets. Oh, they're chasing him down.
Stun under the tower. Luru's the one who was taking the turret damage, does not manage to actually maintain it, so Fang is going to have be the one who picks up that kill. And now we're going to see the first inhibitor come up, second inhibitor come up, which means that unfortunately they've got to turn around. They took just a little bit too long. And so they're not able to take these Nexus turrets. They've got to deal with this first one, and then everybody's going to be back up here in just a second. Final Nexus turret's going to fall. Nexus is going to start getting hit, but unfortunately for them, Kale is here, ready to just start smacking you with those fire spanks, and there it is. Old school Kale is online right now, absolutely shredding things, but unfortunately, you can't do much when you've got an Ashe peppering you, and we can see now Ashe is like, look, guys, we got to just end it. This is over. We got to stop.
Yeah. They're done playing with their food. Luru's like, hey, let's just end the game.
Yep, that was a bit of an odd end to that one right there. However, very, very well done by SLR, playing to their win conditions in a very concise manner, making sure that they held control of that top side of the rift and were able to make sure they secured every single Rift Herald and every single Baron except for the last one.
Yeah, good play out of SLR. Luru really popping off, really wanted to prove me wrong, saying I can carry on Ashe, watch me. That 23,000 damage and a good play from them. Still, you know, YOLO, they did put up quite the effort. They did try it. They did make the attempt. They didn't find it today, but you know, I definitely think they'll find it forward. And they're still one of our top teams in this league. I think a little bit more, and they will have it. They will be able to get past the bump that is SLR.
Oh. And with that, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll have an interview with our victors, and don't go away.
Hello, hello.
All right, well, folks, welcome. Chris Edgeworth here with our first interview for Mythic tonight, joined this time by the newly christened I Throw Meeps of Super Late Reveal. How are you feeling after the win?
Well, first off, I'm not sure if you can hear that there. Crack open a cold one and just say another dub for the SLR server. Happy to be a part of it for the first time here.
Yeah.
And rather excited.
Yeah, let's dive right into it. So, as I touched on, this is your first game for SLR. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about getting the call up.
Well, I was happy to sub in. I've been a sub since the beginning, so I've been just kind of in the shadows, I guess. And I'm happy to keep playing after the C9 heroic season ended. So it's nice to have another shot to play in FOF. And yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the draft. The draft for this game was pretty interesting. You folks had the spicy Bel'Veth in Fang's hands, Seraphine in the mid lane, and then anti-classic with Volibear top. And then of course, on the bot side, you had the Zilean. Bard got banned out, of course, and then Luru on the Ashe. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about your plans in the draft, what you ended up against.
Well, we were first off, they weren't going to be able to ban out everything that we had there, like as far as like the Seraphine and the Swain. So we knew we were going to get one of those picks guaranteed, and so that's why we had first picked the Seraphine there, because we had, it was left open. I was hoping to play Bard. I mean, well, I was slightly hoping. Honestly, I do have to say, I feel like my Bard's a 50-50, but I don't know. Disregarding that, I'm not too sure what led to the Bel'Veth pick, though I do like it. The main kind of thing between like the Volibear and the Zilean was the speed. That's why we were thinking Zilean. I mainly play like utility supports. I'm not so much like the engage support, so I feel like having two kind of mages on the team, or like utilities mages like Seraphine and Zilean, was kind of what we had planned around initially.
Looking at how the game played out, it was of course really a decisive victory for you folks. I wonder if you could talk us a little bit through how the game progressed for you. Especially, we were talking before the interview about how potent a combination the Ashe and the Zilean can be together and give the space, really the zone control on a lot of these champions, like the Leona and the Lilia, especially the Lilia that wants to play around the team, and the Leona going in, the Lilia kiting on the outsides of the fight, and that's giving the ability for the MF and the Azir to sort of do this work. Especially the Kayle was just a little off theme in this comp for sure. I don't know, that must have just been the ego pick. But talk to me a little bit, if you would, about sort of how you folks were able to use this to get to such a decisive lead and then just walking it in.
Oh geez, I mean, I'm not. I mean, as far as like bot lane goes, we had kind of decided to take that, you know, the early presence and really kind of zone them off, and I think we utilized that pretty well to our advantage and to gain that advantage bot lane. You know, our Volibear was very, very strong as well. I didn't see everything that went down top lane, but you know, they wanted to prioritize focusing that top lane because it is a Kayle pick, and so Kale's gonna have that weak early game. And so you know, I wasn't following super closely the entire time, but they made good use of that as far as the top side. And so I felt like, you know, that together, and then with the Seraphine mid, I feel like all the lanes kind of, you know, were able to gather these early leads and kind of come together as one when the team fighting actually came down.
All right, well, iThrowMeeps, thanks so much for the interview. Before we step away, your opportunity, any final thoughts, any shoutouts?
Just shout out all the SLR guys. You know, I appreciate, you know, playing. This was, you know, my first FOF win, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, I don't know. I hope to have some more games in the future.
Well, we look forward to it. All right, well, iThrowMeeps, thanks so much for the interview. Congrats on the first win here, the first win of the day as well. So we got 2 more games coming up next. We'll be followed up by Fat Pikachu versus Eek. So don't go too far. We will be back with game 2.
Thank you.